Welcome to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. In this episode, my guy, Sai Stone, a visionary artist and a cultural advocate. He will share his journey as a creative force, highlighting his contributions to the arts and his dedication to preserving cultural heritage. We'll dive into his artistic process, the inspiration behind his work, and the impact it has. Creativity, inspiration, and community. Whether you're an artist, a cultural enthusiast, or curious about the transformative power of art, Sai's story will leave you inspired and motivated to explore your own creative potential. This is more than just a podcast. It's an opportunity to gain insights, be inspired, and join the conversation today. Thorn City Podcast Guy, let's go. Yeah, no, it's always tight, man, to get people in here that you grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Seen the journey, man, you know. It's really tight, man. So, yeah, we'll get into it. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show, where we network and build connections through interviews and discussions. This episode is brought to you by GMP Podcast Group. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. Make sure you visit thorncitysyndicate.com. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button to be the first to know about new releases, bonus episodes, and exciting updates. Today, I got a really special guest in the spotlight. My guy, Sai Stone. We go way, way, way back. What's up, man, my brother? I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
Man, so, you know, today we don't explore your journey, you know, from where you been to how you got in this chair with me. And like I said, we go way back. Shit, probably like middle school, elementary school, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just turned 42 yesterday.
Did you? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Jackie Robinson.
There we go.
Crazy.
So, yeah, we got the book. He posted something one day, posted his book. I said, man, that's so tight, man. Let me get my guy up here, man, and show him some love and highlight what he's doing. Because I know he's been doing stuff for years around the town, highlighting other people. So it's only right that I, give you a highlight.
I appreciate you, brother. And you're right, you did. I posted that.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't like I go back and refresh every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But you came through with the opportunity to come on your podcast like immediately. And I really appreciate that. In fact, I was hoping to give you your flowers before we start talking about me.
Oh, I'll take them.
So look, you and Third Twin are big inspirations of mine. Y'all really, I would say, showed me a blueprint to independent hustle. From music to film. You was in the New York Hip Hop Film Festival? What was that, like 2018?
Yeah.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, it was tight, man.
Y'all did that. And I was watching that and I was inspired by that. And that's part of the reason I'm here today. But I also can't bring up Third Twin, a.k.a. Lil Roy, without just giving him his flowers as well. Because I don't know if you're aware, but Lil Roy got the hardest hip-hop bar in the history of hip-hop bars.
I would agree.
You want me to tell you what it was?
Which one?
And I might not be able to say it word for word, so don't kill me, Lil Roy. But Bruh City got hit with a 4-5 and walked it off like a crane.
What? Yeah. That's that honesty, man. That's how it all started for me, man.
A 4-5, though.
Man, yeah.
Lil Roy, they don't make them like they used to, bro. Salute to you. I appreciate y'all. I just wanted to share that real quick because this means something. Being here means something to me.
Oh, that's tight, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's why I started it. You know me, I've always been a quiet person and behind the scenes. I like to do my work behind the scenes, but it became a point where it was time for me to, get out in front of the camera, behind the mic, and share my story a little bit because I know it can help people. And so that's what I've always been like to do is I like to help people. So that's how I got into it, and that's what I like to do.
Crazy to hear you say that, man. That resonated with me, we'll get into this 503 TV Productions, 503tv.com. I've been sharing other people's work for over 10 years.
Yep, I appreciate you sharing that stuff.
And so unintentionally, I took a back seat in my own shit because I wasn't always ready to get in front of the camera. So this is certainly me getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Yep. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing around here in the town and what influenced you to get into the street photography?
Born and raised in Portland, born on the Hill. I went to Humboldt, Tubman, Jefferson, and then I went to Willamette University. And what got me into photography, street photography, was, I've been dibbling and dabbling for a long time now. I started out mainly doing video, which is hilarious because I didn't know nothing about video. Me and my bro Crutch, shout out to Crutch J. Lee. We picked up 2 Sony Handycams, standard definition. It just started popping up places. Talk about Beatport paparazzi. You know what? Eventually people start taking us serious, though. And so we started taking ourselves more serious, and that was a journey. And I found personally that I connect with photography more than video. I still do both, but there was something about going to a club for 4 hours to make a 2-minute video that just wasn't adding up for me, especially when I was so I'm more drawn towards photography. I think Crush, he may say the same. He's good at both. But that was kind of my journey here, is that I realized that being in the studio doing that type of photography, it's probably not my strongest point. I like to be out. I like to document life. And, that brought me to this book and these photos.
Nice. So was there any specific neighborhoods or communities in Portland that played a significant role in your life?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in that greenhouse on Kirby and Skidmore. Salute to my family, to my community. Through growing up there, I'm very close to Think Park. I'm very close to what is now the Self-Enhancement Center, which I consider myself a lifetime member. And, now that I mentioned them, I want to give them a quick shout out because before SEI, I got an SEI in 2nd grade. Before that, my mom barely let me leave the house. She was worried she was going to lose me to the streets. T-Hop had to pry me out her arms so that I can learn about life. So salute to them. But I would say that's my area, Northeast Portland.
Nice. So how does it, any of the neighborhoods, does it inspire you to do any of the photography stuff?
I wouldn't say any particular area inspires me, but there is a lot of beauty in our hometown, in our home state, and it's endless. From nature to the streetscapes. I think that there's a lot of beauty that can be found here, and I've always appreciated that we have all 4 seasons. I think that makes for great photography.
Yep. So any specific themes you find yourself drawn to?
I like shooting people, and I like shooting outdoors in natural lighting. I like, as much as possible, I like candids. I like to just shoot people living life. But in this case, it's a good example of, some candid and some that folks pose for.
Can you walk me through your creative process of capturing these moments on the streets?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're talking about the book, which is photography from the George Floyd protest, that was a unique situation because yes, it's street photography, but it's a very, very heated and emotional setting. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Folks are wearing masks. They're tired, frustrated. You can't really communicate as well as you want. And there's an element to this where, anything that happens out in public, it's okay to photograph, but these are some folks are in vulnerable situations. And so for me, I ask permission, and to be honest, my best shots are the ones no one will ever see because I was told no. And the way you continue to do this work is to walk away with the same smile you approached them with and just respect their privacy.
That was going to be my next question, was how do you navigate that balance between capturing authentic moments and, respecting people's privacy?
Yeah. Like I said, it can be tough, but I came up in the clubs with 503 TV Productions. We filmed a lot of club scenes. And so, my job is to record these beautiful women dancing to their favorite song. And they might have been dancing with somebody they wasn't supposed to be dancing with. And so it took a little skill, you learn to come correct verbally. And more importantly, like I said before, I learned to take no for an answer. But because of that, I'm comfortable approaching strangers in public. And usually I'm received well.
Nice. So when you focus on trying to capture these raw emotions in your photographs, how does that work?
That's a good question. Again, I keep going back to the book because it's obviously so fresh in my mind. But not only was I a photographer, but I was a participant, right? And so you and me may have just got done walking side by side for 2 blocks chanting, and at one particular moment I'm inspired, so I pull out the camera and shoot that shot. And I think because I was a participant and not just an observer, there was a level of trust there. But again, though, there was plenty of people who prefer not to be photographed.
Yeah, people just want to be there, just doing their thing.
And I think, let's be honest, you don't always have control of your image once it's out there. And,
it's out there.
It's a politically charged situation. That might have been your daughter's principal out there riding for the cause, but don't want to get in trouble for riding for the cause.
Yeah.
And so I respect that as well.
Yeah, they still need their job. People still want to work. They also want to support the movement. So yeah, it was crazy, man, those times. I would drive, because I was driving, let's see, was I doing my Uber back then? No, I think I was still doing DoorDash. But I would drive and I would see protests out, and I'm like, dang, these people, it's crazy out here, people everywhere. And I'm like, I ain't going out there. I respect the people for, being on the front line. Somebody got to do it. But I just couldn't do it,
I felt the same way. Because of the pandemic, and also I was just frustrated. I mean, I've been marching since I was a kid, and I just didn't have a lot of faith in change. But again, I mean, I've been locked in the house during this pandemic, drinking more than I need to be drinking, watching the news, and all I'm seeing are scuffles and fires and dumpsters and counter protesters versus protesters, and I'm like, damn. It's a lot of people that don't look like me fighting for me. And I started to feel like a sucker. And so I got up and I went down there and I met up with Crutch and Angelina. They were taking photos. I didn't even bring a camera the first day. I was down there for the dump. Because I was mad. I didn't have my own history and I was just frustrated. But when I got down there, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was love. It was it was deep. It was so much so that I said, okay, I'm coming back. I came back the next day by myself. And got to it, and it was just like a 12-hour day, because I wanted to share with folks. And they say if you watch the news, you misinformed.
They only show bad stuff.
Informed, and I agree. And so I just wanted to show folks what I saw.
They didn't want to show you the good that people were doing out there. It was good and bad people out there, but they're gonna definitely show you what the bad's going on.
Absolutely. And they use the pandemic to keep us scared. Wants to go through a super spreader event. My wife wasn't happy that I was out there. That's why I need this to sell. I told her to bet on me.
Yeah, definitely had me spooked, man. I wasn't going. No, but man, we're going to take a break right here, man. I appreciate you coming through. Get a message from our sponsor, GMP Podcast Group. And when we come back, we'll dive more into your experience capturing those moments and the resilience of the protest.
Discover GMP Podcast Group Studios, located at 2406 East Burnside Street in Portland, Oregon, offering a range of podcasting packages to suit your needs, starting at just $49 per hour for your basic setup, featuring a Rodecaster Pro audio console and SM7B microphones, as well as options complete with camera operator and audio engineer expertise. Elevate your podcasting with multi-camera recording, plus we capture behind-the-scenes shots within the studio. Visit us at www.gmpodcastgroup.com and let GMP Podcast Studios be where your podcasting journey begins.
Cause this syndicate lyricist exists. Don't blink one eye, baby, you just might miss history in the making from the making of this. Third, I guess it's welcome back to these words. So I'ma come well like welcome back words for sure.
Yeah. We can talk about it here. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. I got my guy Sai in the building.
Yes, sir.
Man, yeah. So what was you going to ask me?
Man, what was I going to ask you before we came on there?
I was asking if it was live, and I edited it. And then
yeah, y'all, my questions be having questions. I'm more curious about the behind the scenes than I am promoting my book.
Yeah.
By the way, they have a very, very beautiful setup here. I encourage folks to reach out and tap in. Sir. But yeah, I was just curious. I know we're not live. Mm-hmm. You run your ads. Mm-hmm. We've been taking our breaks, and I was just kind of curious if it was you who actually takes this and goes and edits the video up.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he's back there doing, he's really editing live because we got the camera set up where he's switching.
Them Sony things, y'all.
He's switching the angles on this, so he's really editing live. And then I'll do some drops, put some post-production drops into it, what we talking about. After we get done, I'll send you a message asking you to send me any, if you got any footage, any pictures of anything we talked about on the show. And then I'll put it in there. And then, like I said, I'll go in and I'll replace my ads in there. So yeah, so it's a little bit of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know. They think you just get up here and talk, and that's what it is.
So why haven't you quit? This shit ain't easy.
No, it ain't quit, but I'm too far in to quit now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't there, but I can see it. I can see it over there, and I got to get there. Till I get there, they gonna have to kill me to get me out of here.
I love it.
So yeah, I'm down for the cause, man. I'm pushing, man. I started back into 2014 is really how it started. To help out my guy Third. He was going through it. Got caught in that fast life and got hooked on the pills and alcohol, and couldn't let my guy go out like that, man. And so we started the Thorn City Syndicate, which ended up being a management company. I personally wanted some Third Twin music because I've been hearing everybody's music, and I had no new Third, so I said I'm gonna pay for my own album. Third, let's get in the studio. I'm gonna book some studio time. We're gonna go in. We're gonna record some songs, and that's what we did, man. We recorded some songs. We start traveling. We did some shows, and as we're going, I'm like, man, this really helped my boy out. And so, give him something else back to his first love. He's loving these pills and alcohol, and that ain't gonna get him nowhere, man. He was fucked up around here.
But look at him now, though.
Look at him now.
Let's fast forward. Yeah, look at my boy now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Him now.
Sometimes you got to go through it to get to it.
To it.
Unfortunately, some of these young hyenas is only going to listen to somebody with them scars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about he can reach them in a way that Sai Stone can't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I respect what he doing for POIC and what he doing for our community. Shout out to you.
So yeah, he came a long way, man. We did that honesty video. So I met my business partner, Justin. Needed a video. He wrote the script. We connected with some guys who helped us put it all together. We got a budget together and really did it on a big level. Hired a big crew. Most of the crew members worked on Grimm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm a Grimm fan.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'll say it on the podcast. They never picked me up as an extra, though.
So, yeah, man, we did that. And then shortly after that video is when he went and got clean, man. He kind of disappeared. And he hit me up a couple months later. It was like, yeah, man, I went and got clean. And so, shout out to Third, man. That's what I did it for, man. I wanted to get on and get a record deal, but I just wanted my best friend back, really. And so that's why I did it.
A lot of times, man, you gotta have, it's funny, I posted a video today where I tried to give people my why, because I've been posting ads, I've been buying my book. First of all, you didn't tell us you was writing the book. And what is it about? So I didn't get why. And so I tried to tell that. And a lot of times you need something more. It can't just be like, oh, I had an art class and I love photography. Because once life start lifing, you gotta have something else that'll help you get through it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your why. And that's what a lot of people struggle with, is their why. So if you don't know your why, then you don't really know why you're doing it, So yeah, got to know your why. But your book, tell me about your book. Share with me some of your experiences and insights that went into documenting the George Floyd protests.
So, like I mentioned, it was a kind of a spontaneous decision to actually leave my bubble and step out into those streets. But I didn't do it with the intention on publishing a book. At the time, like I said, the first day I went out, I wasn't shooting, and I saw that my experience wasn't what I was seeing on TV. And I was like, dang, everybody else probably believe the same shit's popping off down here. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to share it, and I did through social media. Mm-hmm. About a year later, I considered putting it together as a book. But if I'm being 100, I backed out because I was like, I'm always giving myself excuses not to do what needs to be done, first and foremost. But My reason at the time was that I was afraid people would think I was exploiting the tragic loss of George Floyd and all the media behind it and just jumping on that train to sell something. And so I waited and waited. And now it's here, and I couldn't be happier and so relieved. And that lasted for about 10 minutes before I realized I'm also the person that got to hustle this and market this. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So what were some of the challenges you faced while documenting the protest? And how'd you navigate them?
I think the fact that I was so personally, emotionally invested kind of clouded things for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about it often, but like back in 2007, I got hands and feet put on me by Portland police. Leaving the city, having a great time. I had such a great time. I didn't even leave until they turned the lights off. It was one of those nights. Like, y'all got to go. Stop playing music, DJ. Y'all got to go. It was a great summer night. The homies was in town hooping overseas. And yeah, man. And so I know what it feels like to just be vulnerable and to actually consider your own death. To be handcuffed on your stomach, getting mollywopped while they screaming, stop resisting. You're like, bro, if you kick me one more time, I'm going to stop existing. I ain't resist this shit. That was a tough situation for me. You know, they hit me with charges that I had to fight on my own. And I did. I didn't take no deals, and I beat that. And I went to, I sued them. I sued them in civil court, but because I was alleging a civil rights violation, it bumped it up to federal court. And from my experience, the biggest difference was, so the Multnomah County would have been all white, but at least they got some black neighbors.
Yeah.
Now we going for the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
Bro, even after we kicked people off the jury, I still had a cop's dad on there. That's how many people that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I knew it. And that was a tough situation, you know, and I battled depression, you know what I'm saying? It really took me off my pivot for a short time. And it took a while before I could walk around with my chest out, my chin up. And that's where I'm at today.
Man, I didn't know that, brother. I'm glad you made it through, man. That's crazy. Damn.
So take a left on you.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, man. So yeah, you really had a different perspective for going out there and wanting to be down for the cause.
I did, because I felt like they was fighting for me. And why ain't I out there fighting for me?
And you could have been George Floyd.
100%. I remember when I made the decision to let them handcuff me so I could make it home, because I was ready to go. And these is little dudes. You know what I'm saying? And you're really testing my manhood anyway, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm having flashbacks.
No.
But I'm in a better place, believe it or not. And I use that to fuel me. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it comes through in my work.
Yeah, keep fighting your fight, man. Yep. So have you noticed any specific reactions or responses to your photographs from the community? That stuff you was putting out during the protest?
Yeah. One of the most common, not even so much feedback, but questions I get is, why the white boys on the implicit bias. And to answer that, part of it was the way I wanted to have my wording. I had that figured out before I even had an image, so it had to be a certain shape. And to be honest with y'all, this was more reflective of what I saw.
What you saw. That's what was out there.
And so that's what I put on the cover. And if you look in these two dudes' eyes, this is not them posing. This one is candid. I ran and got in front of them, and they they got fired. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And I had to jog, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about street photography that ain't talked about, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to see my steps.
Yeah.
I guess it is. But that's the most common feedback I've gotten. Other than that, it's been positive. I have been asked, I went with 24 pages. I have been asked, why not more? I definitely have more. And to answer that, if you like me, you love those photo books. If you go to somebody's house and they got one, you grab it. But if you like me, you flip through that bitch like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just too much. No matter how beautiful the imagery, for me, I get discombobulated. It's just too much. So I tried to make it a little bit more concise.
Gotcha. So in what ways do you think street photography differs from other forms of visual storytelling?
That's a good question. Hopefully I didn't say that's a good question 20 times, maybe. Cut that out.
No, that's all good.
You know, I've been doing this for a very long time, as I've mentioned, and I'm just now really starting to kind of learn about I don't want to call them labels, but, you know, photojournalism, street photography. Those are things I did but didn't think about until I published a book and had to choose categories.
You're just doing what you wanted to do.
Yeah, so it's not real easy for me to answer that, but what I can tell you about why street photography resonate with me is just because I feel like I'm the type, I share a lot on social media. I share my family. I'm into fitness. I like to share, you know, and so through photography, I get to show y'all what I saw instead of telling you, because you ain't gonna believe me if I tell you. Yeah, and that's kind of a very kind of basic way of explaining it.
So the photography and the video, is this something you went to school for, or you just picked it up and just started doing it?
I went to the school of YouTube tutorials.
There we go.
Now, hold on, though. Shout out to Harriet Tubman Middle School. I definitely took video production there, but at my big age, we was doing analog VHS tapes. That wasn't even digital. And so the digital, bro, I just had to get it how I live. And, you know, I was really bad at first. But I just kept, you know, I became a student of the craft. And I started staying up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? One thing's for sure, you're going to have your video back probably the next day because I'm just wired like that. And that's not necessarily always good. But, no, I didn't have any formal training for the most part. It's just been trial and error.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's how I jumped into the business. It's working out. Sometimes you just got to get in, and what Hov said the other night, you just got to keep showing up.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just got to keep showing up.
Keep shooting. Shout out to Russell.
Mm-hmm. Keep showing up, man, and then people will start respecting you and respecting your work and really see what you're doing when they see you putting in the work.
And if you out there, and I know this sounds real cliche, but if you feel like that, trust me, I have. Mm-hmm. I have a love-hate relationship with this craft because I don't feel like it's always loved me back. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like this city has always loved me back. And so I get it. But if it's something that you're passionate about, it doesn't always have to be a business venture. Just keep shooting, keep taking pictures, keep doing video until maybe one day you are inspired to put something together.
That's it, man. You got any memorable experiences or encounters you had while out there during the protest?
Yeah, now let me think of what could stand out. I'm so goofy. This is such a serious thing, and I'm gonna say the most goofy thing. But it was these white girls out there, and they had signs that said what they say: if you take BBC back shots, this is your fight too.
What? It was out there,
and I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Crutch. He got photographs of that. They're not in the book. But
you might have to send me those so I can post them on the video apps on the video part.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you the picture. I'll just make sure you credit the homie.
Yeah.
That just stood out to me because sometimes in the middle of something that's very serious, being able to crack a smile, being able to laugh, is key. So the back shot sign was hilarious. If you out there, salute to you.
Oh, that's funny. And we're going to take one more break, man. We got one more message from Thorn City Syndicate, and we come back, we're going to touch on your efforts in building the community up, man, and creating change. And we're going to get into the 503 TV.
Let's do it.
Introducing Thorn City Syndicate Management, your solution for brand management, social media promotions, digital content distribution, and podcast production. From shaping engaging content that resonates with your audience to amplifying your brand's reach through podcasting. We're your partners in driving success. We offer free strategy sessions and leverage our recording studio and personalized strategies to establish an online presence. Your brand's journey to the top starts with Thorn City Syndicate Management, where innovation meets results. Contact us now at www.thorncitysyndicate.com to embark on the future path of transforming your brand's future.
This syndicate lyricist exists. Don't blink one eye, baby, you just might miss. History in the making from the making of this. Third, I guess it's welcome back to these words. So I'ma come well like welcome backwards for sure.
Yeah, man. Welcome back, man. Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. Got my guy Sai in the building. That was a little clip from Third Twin called "Welcome Back." It's on the unreleased full length album. We did drop an EP, 4 songs, but I got a whole full album that I've been holding on to, and we got a documentary. I was catching footage of everything.
Let me find out you got a released Third Twin.
Yeah,
I just saw him at a gala.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a documentary. We've been working on ever since the beginning of when I first started getting them back in the studio. So it's pretty deep, man. And so I've been holding on to the album to release the album with the documentary.
You know, I'm thinking about it. Me and Krebs was just talking about putting together a documentary because I've been sharing 503 TV. So my Instagram is 503 TV side, but on the 503 TV page, I've been sharing some old footage. So like E40 performance at the TNA, and T Nutty, Mr. Fab freestyling, and it's just got me feeling nostalgic. And it's like, you know what, we really sitting on gold, low-key. And so we're going to have to put the pieces together and tell our story.
Yeah, yep, you got to do that. That's the good thing about documentary. Sometimes the story is still unfolding. So as far as Third, I mean, his story is still unfolding. Getting married this summer, so that's definitely something we want to get in there. Yeah, man, we got some good stuff going on. But yeah, you mentioned the 503 TV. It's a hub for community engagement, is what I like to call it. Tell me a little bit about the 503 TV, how that all started, and when it started.
503 TV started back in like 2008 by me and Crutch, Ralu, Jay Lee.
Shout out to Crutch.
And really, we wanted to kind of document not just like our everyday life, but our partners and everything they do. And we got friends doing sports, music, arts, all kinds of stuff. And it started during that Arctic blast back in 2008. That's our very first video on YouTube. We were stuck in the crib. And so we made a movie, and not really a movie, but it was just kind of a mashup of those days. And I'll never forget those days. So from there, we branched out. We started doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was a time when we was both single. Neither one of us had kids. So we had a lot of time to dedicate to the grind, you know, before, like I said, life started life. And so there came a point where we were doing less of the content in regards to going out and capturing events, and started to kind of create more of our own projects and try to get our creativity out to the world. And we also have a blog on 503tv.com where I share the work of others. I share local hip-hop music just because we're dope in this city. And I think there's a big misconception. And not only are we dope, there's such a diversity in the type of hip-hop, whatever your bag is, you can find it. Yeah. So I've been doing that for a long time. It's kind of my way of paying back the community that gave me so much, because it definitely took a village to raise me. Yeah. And I wouldn't be here without that village. And so I use it as a way to get back. And it's been a gift and a curse, because the business side has been maybe lacking. Yeah. Because I'm doing it out of passion. And so Kobe year 2024.
Yeah. Yo. Well, man, you always shared our stuff too, man. So we always appreciate that, man.
No problem.
It's kind of, you know, sometimes it's tough to get people will like your stuff, but they won't share it for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
Harder than you would think.
Yeah. But they'll share a total stranger stuff before they share it. Somebody they didn't grow up with, you know, for 30 years, and trips me out.
And I'm not complaining, but if I'm being honest, some of the most support I've gotten from this book has been from people I haven't shed blood and tears with.
Yeah, that's crazy how it works.
Yeah, it is what it is. People love.
Yeah. So, anything upcoming for 503 TV? You have a vision for it going forward?
Yeah. You know, I would love to release a documentary, as I mentioned. I think that's going to take some time and some effort in the time being, if I'm saying that right. I want to find more interesting ways to share my work. And one thing that I'm doing, I should mention, is that on February 24th, I'll be having a signing party at Cafe United in Old Town. owned by my brother Roderick and my brother Justin, Black owned. Come out and support, have a good time. Thank you to Mac Smith. This is going to be presented by him. He reached out the day you reached out with love and asking, how can I help? And so y'all, please come out. It's family friendly. And we just want to build it. There's no agenda. We'll have some music and just chill.
Yeah, man, that's tight. Where's it located at?
Cafe United is on, good question. It's on Cooch, First and Cooch. I should have the exact address, but please do Google it. But it's right in Old Town on Cooch.
I'll be sure to look it up, and I'll put it up on the screen when we talking about it.
Appreciate you.
Because I met those brothers too, two good brothers. I went in there, and they got a nice little spot, man, in there. Good vibes.
You see the secret room?
I did see the secret room. That's right. I always wanted one of those.
Here. Yeah, y'all better come Cafe United. Shout out to my bros.
Yeah, no, that's tight, man. Well, man, I sure appreciate you coming through, man. I appreciate seeing what you're doing out here. Like I said, it's always nice to see people you grew up with, and see their journey to where they've come from, to what they're doing, and what they're trying to do. And if I can help, I like to help, you know what I'm saying? So we locked in now.
Absolutely.
The show's called Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. It's all about the power of networking and forming strategic alliances. And so that's why I started the show, man. And so
what I'm going to do going forward and paying it forward is when you drop an interview that doesn't include me, I'm going to share that on Live 3 TV.
Right on.
Every time.
Yes, sir. Right on, man. You got any final words of encouragement for the listeners as they embark on their own journey? And how can they connect with you?
You can connect with me on 503tv.com. My socials are 503TV Sai. Man, it's going to sound cliche, but the best thing I could tell you is not to give up.
There you go.
There's a reason I didn't share that I was going to release this book, and it's because I was afraid of being talked out of it. Unintentionally. I'm not saying people have bad intentions, but that happens. And so I think you have to have an unshakable belief in yourself and be ready to and willing to put it all on the line if you're really serious about this.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely got to stay down, man, and keep grinding.
I stay down till you come up.
And just keep showing up. Like Hov said the other night on the Grammy, saying keep showing up, man. And that's one thing I've done, I know, is I keep showing up. You know,
100%.
Keep showing up and putting in the work, man. It'll all pay off. But yeah, I like to say I encourage my listeners to explore their passions, embrace innovation, and pursue entrepreneurship in their own unique ways. Thanks for joining us. Explore the power of networking and find inspiration by following me at Thorn City Podcast Guy for updates, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and to join the conversation today. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show as we continue to highlight individuals, businesses, brands, and podcasters. Don't forget to subscribe to the Thorn City Podcast Guy YouTube channel. Follow at Thorn City Syndicate, the management company, and at GMP Podcast Group, the production company as well. And be sure to drop by www.thorncitysyndicate.com. Schedule your free strategy session. Come down to 2406 East Burnside. Man, let's do some work, man. We're looking to network and partner up and see how we can push this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? Thorn City Podcast Guy. Highlight your boy.
Holla. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was tight. Yes, sir.
What man? What power? Hoodoo.
I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show, where we network and build connections, interviews, and discussions. Until next time, highlight your boy, Thorn City Podcast Guy. I'm out.
You remind me of a man.